following a low-carbohydrate food diet, there are all kinds of ways to diet. Some people try to cut out as much fat as possible. Others concentrate on cutting back on calories. Others do not bother dieting at all, but instead, just cut back on the size of the meals they eat. There are nearly as many diets as there are people, really, but how many of these diets actually live up to their reputation, and do the things that their creators claim they do? One type of diet that seems to have lasted for a while, and also seems to work, is one that is low in carbohydrates. Although we do need to have some carbohydrates in our diets, we need to have the good carbohydrates, or complex carbohydrates, rather than the simple ones that are found in many of the delicious junk food treats and prepared foods that we all eat way too much of. The dangers of high-carbohydrate food diets: we are all guilty of eating the wrong foods once in a while, and some of us are much guiltier than others. This is something that we all need to watch out for and make sure that we do not eat too much of a high-carbohydrate food that is not all that good for us. Eating a diet that is high in bad carbohydrates can lead to a number of health problems. In fact, it is thought that women who eat too many bad carbohydrates are at a higher risk of developing breast cancer. And too much high-carbohydrates food can also wreak havoc on our metabolism, and often results in obesity. And if the diet is not changed, it is pretty much impossible to lose the extra weight. If you are getting too many bad carbohydrates in your diet, you need to start making some changes before it starts to affect your health, if it hasn't already. Get your carbohydrates from good, healthy sources, such as whole grains, brown rice, lean red meat, and more delicious, natural sources. Avoid foods that are already prepared, and eat at takeouts as little as possible. Sure, you can treat yourself once in a while, but you cannot expect to be healthy if your diet includes a lot of junk food. What is a low-carbohydrate food diet? Many people who are overweight or obese use low-calorie diets to help them lose weight. A low-carbohydrate food diet is one that is extremely restrictive of the amount of carbohydrates allowed, and high-carbohydrates foods are replaced by other healthy choices that are much better for weight loss and overall good health. Often, low-carbohydrates food is replaced with food that is higher in fat and protein, so if you are trying to lose weight, you need to really take a good look at the foods you eat, and make sure that you keep your carbohydrates down while not eating too much fat. There are also no-carbohydrate diets, but these are extreme, and should only be used while under the care of a physician, nutritionist, or dietitian. And actually, you should discuss any type of diet plan with your physician before starting, just to be sure that you will be following one that will be good for you. Besides obesity, low-carbohydrate food diets can help to treat a number of other health issues. If you suffer from chronic fatigue syndrome, you could benefit from being on this type of diet. Diabetes and epilepsy can also be treated with low-carbohydrate food diets, as well as polycystic ovarian syndrome. There are some very popular, commercial low-carbohydrate food diets that millions of people follow religiously. The Atkins diet is probably one of the most well-known of these diets. Other popular low-carbohydrate diet plans include the Zone Diet, the Go Lower Diet, the Protein Power Life Plan, and the South Beach Diet. Getting enough protein in your low-carbohydrate food diet. Diets that are low in carbohydrate food usually promote eating foods that are high in protein. But it is important to remember that not all high-protein foods are good for you, because they may also be quite high in fat. Yes, we do need to get a certain amount of healthy fat in our diets, but too much, even the good fat, can lead to health problems that include obesity. There are many ways to make sure that you are getting enough protein in your diet, and you can get it from healthy sources that are great for helping you to reach your weight loss goals. Make sure that you are eating a lot of whole grains, which are not only great sources of healthy carbohydrates but also excellent sources of protein. Lean red meat is always a good option, as are fish and poultry. Low or non-fat dairy products are very rich in protein, as well as calcium and vitamin D, which we need to build strong, healthy bones. Sometimes, especially if you tend to do a lot of eating on the run, you may find that you are not getting the right nutrition, and that there are certain things that seem to be constantly missing from your diet, including protein. When this happens, you may want to consider using dietary supplements. The most popular type of supplement that comes to mind is the vitamin pill, but you can also get protein supplements that will provide not only protein, but many of the vitamins that you would get from the pills, making them unnecessary. There are many protein supplements available that are great for low-carbohydrate food diets, and for promoting weight loss. Liquid protein shots are popular because they are small, low in calories, and are loaded with nutrients. Protica has a couple of protein shots that are excellent for low-carbohydrate food diets. ProfectR contains only 100 calories per serving, but provides 25 grams of protein, as well as vitamin C and B complex vitamins. For more information about the protein supplements available from Protica, you can visit the website at www.protica.com.